played better. Turns it over. James keeps his dribble somehow. Irving back to James. Oh, he throws it down.
Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and the Lakers need to do their due diligence on Kyrie Irving before they make any trades for him. So if you're new here or you've been living under a rock for the last few weeks, let me catch you up to speed. So 2 weeks ago, Kyrie Irving completely shocked the NBA world when he went on the I Am podcast and he opened up and finally admitted that he screwed up when it comes to leaving LeBron James, when he left LeBron James to go to the Boston Celtics. And this sparked interest in the possibility of Kyrie Irving and LeBron James finally reuniting in Los Angeles with the Lakers. And reports even came out that the Nets GM and Rob Pelinka, the GM of the Lakers, met and they talked about the two guards, Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving. No, we don't know exactly everything that was said or the details of this meeting, but it has people speculating. And rumors surrounding Kyrie Irving were even more amplified this week when reports came out that the Nets are unwilling to give Kyrie Irving a contract extension. And this is mainly due to the fact that Kyrie Irving has chosen not to get vaccinated, which is his personal choice, but the Nets organization don't like that. But another reason is because of Kyrie's previous history of injuries. It's unpredictable and he's always hurt. So the Nets are unwilling to give him a contract extension, and the front office and the management are just done with Kyrie Irving, especially after the Nets got swept in the first round of the playoffs this postseason. And now everyone is speculating that a reunion between Kyrie Irving and LeBron James is inevitable. But I'm here to say that the Lakers should do their due diligence, be very cautious, and be very careful about what they ask for, right? We all know who Kyrie Irving is. And I'm not just talking about the fact that he's a diva, right? I'm saying the Lakers shouldn't jump the gun right away and trade for him. And because of a number of reasons. They may find a flaw with him that may not make him as good of a fit as everybody thinks he might be with LeBron James. And again, I'm not talking about all the crazy things that Kyrie Irving has done in the last few years. Things like being flaky, being hard-headed, not getting along with his teammates, not getting along with his coach like Steve Nash, or the fact that he just takes off whenever he wants, right? Like that time he took off to go party with his sister in the middle of a pandemic, then he got suspended for it for a week. No, I'm not talking about all those things. Although those things are a detriment to any team that would want him on their team. So Lakers should watch out for that, right? But even if that was the case, if that was the only problem, I'd still want the Lakers to trade for Kyrie Irving, because I think that Kyrie Irving, if he were to go play with LeBron James, he would respect LeBron enough to not do all those things. But that's not what I'm talking about. After the Brooklyn Nets lost in the first round, after they got swept in the first round, I took a look at Kyrie Irving carefully under a microscope, right? And I found a weakness that no one in the entire NBA world is talking about. Not anybody on YouTube, not any sports analyst, any NBA talking heads. Nobody's talking about this, and I think nobody's talking about this because were they to talk about it, it'd be pretty controversial. And this is a weakness about Kyrie Irving that I think the reason that he and the Nets got swept by the Boston Celtics. And that weakness is Kyrie Irving is a completely whole different player from what he used to be when he played with LeBron James. Now, let me expand on that furthermore. Let me really get into it. What I mean by Kyrie Irving is different is the fact that Kyrie is a Muslim now. Now, before you go off and you want to cancel me and you want to report my channel, hear me out for a second. Listen closely. I'm not saying being a Muslim is bad. No, not at all. Being a Muslim, to each his own, right? But it does affect Kyrie Irving's performance. In fact, you can see how it impacted his performance against the Celtics if you look closely at the numbers. The thing is, Kyrie Irving, in his journey to find himself, as he stated in the I Am Athlete podcast, stated that he was not in the right mental space and he went looking for himself. And in that journey, he turned to the Nation of Islam. He turned to being a Muslim, and he found himself, and great for him. He found himself and he found the Muslim faith, and great for him. And that means he practices the faith religiously, and that means he partakes in Ramadan. Now, for all of you guys out there that don't know what Ramadan is, basically it is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, and worldwide Muslims fast for the majority of that month. That month happens to be April. Now, what do you think is special about April? Well, April also happens to be the month that the NBA playoffs begin. And so you can see the problem there. The problem being Ramadan and the NBA playoffs overlap each other. And that is a huge problem, especially for an athlete. Why? Because you cannot play NBA caliber playoff basketball on an empty stomach. And that's exactly what happened this year. That's exactly what Kyrie tried to do. No, that's exactly what Kyrie did this year. Kyrie Irving literally played on an empty stomach. And you can see how that impacted his game when you look closely at the numbers. Let me dig into the numbers, right? Game 1, Kyrie Irving played in Boston. Game 1, Kyrie Irving scored 39 points, but the Nets lost, right? Game 2, Kyrie Irving scores 10 points, 10 rebounds. You can see that huge fall off. He fell off a cliff. 10 points, right? Game 3, Kyrie Irving scores 16 points. You're seeing the pattern here, right? And then finally, game 4, elimination game, where Kevin Durant and the team needs everything they can get from Kyrie Irving. They need him to score at least 30 points. Kyrie Irving scores 20 points. If you see that pattern, he falls off greatly after game 1. He never played better than game 1, right? And that is because he was literally, in every sense of the word, and I mean literally, malnourished. People who practice Ramadan are literally not eating. Kyrie Irving was literally not eating, and he cannot do both. Kevin Durant and the entire team could have used Kyrie Irving in the sense that if he at least gave them 25, 27 points, that would have been good. But Kyrie couldn't. He literally could not muster it because his body wouldn't let him. His body was literally out of energy. And any team that takes on Kyrie Irving, including the Lakers, has to take this into account because this is not going to be a one-off thing. Like I said, Kyrie's different. This means this is going to happen every year in the same time, in April every year. So you have to take accountability and you have to accept the fact that Kyrie Irving will not be the same Kyrie Irving come April, right? And that's just unfortunate because Kyrie Irving is an athlete and athletes need to take care of their body, and taking care of your body means eating right, but that means eating in the first place, right? And that's a direct conflict with his faith in which he needs to fast, right? And you can see that conflict of interest, and you can see how that's going to impact whoever chooses to take Kyrie onto their team. And that is my warning to the Lakers, right? As much as I would like to see LeBron and Kyrie on the same team, Kyrie Irving's bringing a lot of baggage, and the Lakers should do their due diligence before they take him on, before they sign him, or before they trade for him. But guys, that's just my thoughts, right? If you like basketball content, if you like talking about basketball, this is the channel for you. This has been League Talk. My name's Emmanuel Camia. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this whole situation? Leave a like for the algorithm, and click here to watch who I think is going to win the NBA championship. And aside from that, see you next time, kids.